Today at the Quick Speed Shop, I'm back working on the Doodlebug. I'm getting the firewall and the gas tank ready to paint up. For those of you that don't know about Model A's, the gas tank is in the cowl. This, is your firewall, and the windshield would be here. And this is a 10 or 11 gallon gas tank that's actually the top of the cowl, and it has a dashboard in it. So I've gone ahead and I've loosened up all the screws to hold the gas tank into the top, and the sides obviously have no screws because there's no cowl sides on here. I'm just getting ready to take the last screw out and pop the gas tank off. So watch this. And I learned from working on Model A's that these are a funky screw that's hard to find in the machine screw world. So I'm just going to pull the last screw out of the top of this cowl, and we'll pop the gas tank off here. Oh no! I got a non-factory screw that's jamming me here. Uh-oh. Dang it. Damn! There we go. Here is the Model A gas tank. See the bottom of it here? Oh, there's a bunch of crap. Ah, gross. Here's the front side. So this will be inside the car here. You can see here's a fuel gauge, which goes right inside the tank, and your little dash panel goes around here with your ignition switch, and your amp gauge and your speedometer goes here. But here's your fuel gauge. So I think this tank's in good shape. I don't see any holes underneath it. It had gas in it when the thing quit running, which just evaporated. So I'm going to clean this up and paint it. It's a nice tank. It's got a strainer on the inside. Here's your steering column hold down bracket. Sometimes these vibrate off where they're riveted and they break the tank, but this looks like it's good. So I'm going to get this all cleaned up and paint it, and we'll clean the firewall up and paint it. So here's the firewall. The hood rod brackets usually vibrate and break. Somebody's welded this one up. Somebody actually through bolted this one through the firewall, which I can, now I got the gas tank off, I think I can take this off, get it out of here. But I'm going to scrape all the crud off here, just sand this up real fast, and I got some hunter green. I'm going to go ahead and, I got a couple of cracks here, probably weld up the cracks, and we'll get these painted and get them on the Doodlebug. Well, I didn't get too much more done here because I've been spending hours sanding this gas tank, trying to get most of the paint off of here. It took me quite a while to get, there's like 6 layers of real nasty paint. I got all off around here and stuff like this, so I got it pretty much ready to prime here, but I'm out of paint and primer. Look at this. This is a 80-year-old steel. It's like brand new under here. So this will clean up. I'll paint this, and then I got to get the firewall back off here. I've been painting up the linkages. I'm gonna put the linkages back on for like the throttle and the distributor, all that. I went through a box of goodies, and I actually have radiator hoses, spark plugs, the straps for the spark plugs, most of a wiring harness I bought for my other Model A truck, which I'm not going to be doing anything with for a couple years, I guess. So I bought all the parts for that when I did my tow truck. I bought 2 sets of everything. So I got all the parts to finish this up in stock, ready to go. So I'll get all that crap hooked up, and as soon as I paint the firewall, put this back on, we can assemble everything, and I think it'll be time to fire the motor. Oh, won't that be exciting? Since you're over here closer, we can talk about the exhaust. Bits and pieces. So here's that half a muffler, the real muffler. Ow! Dang it! Ow! I wish I hadn't done that. took a chunk out of my finger. All right, here we go. So the original muffler is like that long and it's got a tailpipe on it. So I'm going to cut this head pipe off like I said. And this kind of goes up under here like so. Here. And if you can see where this is coming out the side, the second transmission cross member is in the way to have the exhaust be where it usually is. So I'm going to cut the head pipe off that, take this muffler, and get it to mount out here somewhere like this. That's this frame member. I can mount it up and tight like that. And I got this little tailpipe extension. This will dump down by the rear axle out of the way. So I'll just fab up this head pipe here. I'll work on that. We'll get the exhaust on. And this guy's ready to go. Clean this up, paint this, and then we can put everything together. Got the gas tank all sanded up and primed up, but I had a disaster. I had it propped up on the back of my Model A truck box, and I had it on cardboard, and I was priming it, and it was sitting there drying. And all of a sudden it like Rochambeaued, and it fell off upside down on top of the Dodge Ram that was laying on the ground, and now there's a dent in the tank. I mean, the tank was like flawless. There was no damage on it whatsoever. The metal was mint condition after 88 years, and now it's got a dent in it. And I wasn't very happy. But what are you going to do? So I'm working on the firewall over here, and it's in pretty good shape. There's only a couple extra holes in it. It had a battery box bolted up here. Looks like a bullet hole here, but I think that might have been punched in somehow. But it's got the heater hole here for that heater on the manifold, and it's got the stereotypical, or not stereotypical, it's got the, you can tell it's an old school hole because they didn't have hole saws back in the day apparently, and then they went and they drilled a whole bunch of holes all the way around, and then this hole here, they drill a bunch of holes and then punch it out. Let me use the power of zoom and you can check it out. Check this out. It's the, whoa. So you can see the hole here. Look at all these edges. They went and drilled probably 40 holes around here and punched it out, and the same thing over here. That's got a whole bunch of holes drilled and punched out. So it's all craziness. That's the old school way. But I'm gonna scrape this up. I got all the oil and garbage scraped off. I'm gonna wire wheel it and then sand it with a DA, and then prime this up, and I'll be ready to paint everything. I got the grease out of that and got the dirt out and wire wheeled it real nice. And then I DA'd the whole thing with 80 grit sandpaper, then hand sanded it with 80, and then sanded it some more with some 120 to smooth that out. And I got a couple of coats of red oxide primer on here. And the firewall I'm going to paint hunter green. The front side, the back side I've already rail canned flat black. I'm just going to make the inside of the firewall flat black. And the feet here are going to be black and then transition to green. Basically anything that would have been covered by the side panels of the quarter panel or of the cowl is going to be black. And then the firewall, the outside of the firewall will be green, and the gas tank will be green. Alright, well I got the firewall curing. I've gone ahead, I'm going to do a little detail on the gas tank here. I've flat blacked the whole bottom of the tank and around here, and I'm going to detail paint the dash bezel, if you will, on the front of the tank here. This detail, I'm going to paint it hunter green, which is going to match the outside of the tank, and then the instrument cluster bezel will be chrome, and then I'll have a little bit of flat black around the outside of that, and the rest of this, there's dust on there now. The rest of this will be flat black, so this is a rattle can resto at its best. I'll throw a little green on here and we'll see what it looks like. Oh. It's coming in green already. Nice. There's one coat. I'm going to go get my respirator on because now I smell paint. And then in the meantime, while this is drying, I'm going to be working on the firewall over here. So I think we can go ahead and put the firewall on. Let me grab it. And where did the hardware go? Probably get some new hardware. Let me grab it and we'll set it up on here and see how it goes. Here it comes. Ooh, look at the reveal. Look at this. Oh. Bam. Hunter Green. Let's see if I can put it on here without scratching the crap out of everything. Bam! Awesome. We're using the vintage hardware that came with it. It's kind of hokey-majokey all over the place, but we'll get it on there. Hokey-majokey. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bolt this down, and I'll get some bolts down here. This is a little sprung. This will sit right down here. Oh, there you go. Lines up good now. I'm going to go ahead and get this all bolted down, and then we'll take a look at it. Alright, I picked up this toe board set along the way somewhere, and it's laid in here. Check it out. Uh-oh. Apparently, I need to take the gas pedal off to be able to get that on there. I got the toe board, and then I got the floorboard here. Actually go like this around the tranny here. Get the general idea. These are, somebody made these. They're just, I don't know if they're repops, but they're plywood. But it'll sit in here for a floor. We can just eyeball it up. Get this out of the way. You get some vice grips and try to take that throttle pedal pad off. Actually, I can definitely tell somebody made this because it's not drilled for any of the screw holes. So, fits kind of okay. This needs your toe board here. And the floorboard. So this is made for a car. And I gotta trim it. It hits the shifter for the floor here. I'll have to cut a bigger hole in this. And this is where the stock battery goes underneath the floor. And there's a sheet metal plate that goes here to cover that up. I'm probably just gonna run the battery in the back somewhere, so I'm not gonna use that. I'll just screw a piece of tin over that. And then in the meantime, when I get this going, I'm gonna have to build some kind of structure. This had just a big wooden flat deck on it originally, and I'll have to have a seat, and I'd like to, not sure what I'm going to do with the back yet, but I'll probably make some kind of steel structure that will bolt on here, and then I'd like to get some rough sawn planks if I'm going to do a flatbed or like a buckboard setup, or I might take the Model A pickup box I got that was on my hot rod truck, will fit on here. And I could put that on the back, so it'd have a little box on the back, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Haven't got that far. But in the meantime, I can trim and make this stuff fit. These pedals are hitting just a little bit here. But you get the idea here what it's going to look like. But it's coming together nice. You can see how I flat black the inside of the firewall. And the gas tank is flat black, and then I painted the front of the tank where the dash goes. I did a green accent on that. It's actually up over there, but you probably can't see it. Up on the roof of the truck over there. Right over there, it's in primer right now. So I'll get that out here, and we'll go from there. But we're making some progress, putting things back together. Now that this is on, put this back on so I don't lose it. Now if the firewall's on, I can, put all this together. We can start wiring it, and then we can see if I can fire the motor. Oh, actually, when the last video I was talking about the heater, the heatilator here, this is the hole in the floor right here, the screw hole. There would have been a little sheet metal plate that would have blocked the hole off, and you didn't want the heat. Then you would have swung it up out of the way, and then the sheet metal or cast iron cover would have been tight up this hole, and then would have blown the hot air. You'd be sitting right here, so you would have hot air blowing right on your legs, and keep you warm for winter driving. So if I can find a cover to put on this, I'll hook that back up. That'd be cool just to have it there for looks. But in the meantime, I'll keep assembling. As always, thanks for watching. I'm going to put a circle somewhere. Where am I going to put it? Back there. Bank on that tractor tire. Go ahead and hit it. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And so there's always something to look forward to. So like, share, and subscribe. And as always, we'll see you again. Where is it? Back there at the Quick Speed Shop.